Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very exciting video for you. This video is all about building habits and how actually you can build a really good habit or get rid of bad ones. And this video is very exciting because I'm actually doing this video with Marco from the YouTube channel Straight Mind. His channel is also all about building habits, getting more out of life, and he approaches everything from a psychology point of view. So we thought that this would be a great idea. So I'm going to be giving 5 of my tips about habit building, and Marco is going to also give 5 of his habits, and hopefully this year we're going to get really good habits in place. All of Marco's details, his YouTube channel, and everything will be linked in the description box below. Without further ado, I'm going to let him start by giving our first tip.
Point number 1 that raises the probability of building any habit is the so-called strategy of piggybacking, which just means that if you want to build a habit, you want to add it to an already established one. Let's say you want to go to the gym or you want to meditate. You want to add this to something that you already do frequently. Now you might think, I didn't build any habits so far. Well, you did. You wake up in the morning, right? You have lunch, you come home from work. You have dozens of habits throughout the day that you haven't even realized yet. So don't just tell yourself, okay, tomorrow I meditate at some point. No, say, after I wake up, I take a shower and then I meditate. After I come home from work, I go to the gym, right? Because by definition, a habit is something that is triggered by something. And the trigger here is then the habit that you have already established. It also serves as a reminder.
The second tip is about understanding why you want to change one habit or why you want to get into a habit or get out of a habit. I think this is really crucial because if you don't know exactly why you want to get into a habit, if you don't have a really good reason for yourself, why you want this, the chances of the habit sticking is not very high. What we usually see, especially during the New Year resolutions, new habits, new life phase of life, is that people are trying to adopt habits that are great for everybody else and that play a great role in everybody's life, but not necessarily theirs. Seeing that somebody else is doing something great for them and that habit being a really reasonable habit to have is not actually enough for you to work on that habit. So you have to have a clear goal, a clear why, a clear reason for why you want that habit to be in your life. The benefits of that habit should be really clear to you. You have to understand that if it doesn't have a huge role in your life or if you don't really need it, the chances of you sticking to it is really low. So make sure that when you're deciding on a habit that you want to work on, it really resonates with you, your values, and your lifestyle.
Another strategy is the so-called preparatory habits. And the idea here is just that any habit that you want to build constitutes out of little sub-habits and preparatory acts that need to get done. Classical example, again, going to the gym. Well, you need to prepare, for example, your gym bag. So let's imagine you come home from work and there is already your gym bag prepared. It's much more likely that you actually just take it and go to the gym. Instead of you come home, first of all have to look for things. Are they washed? Are they not? Where are they? Prepare them and then go to the gym. It's a much bigger thing and it's less likely that you actually get things done. So you want to prepare that. What I, for example, often do in the morning, I want to start rather early with my work, and in the evening, I already open the tabs on my laptop. I open the Word files, I open the websites that I directly want to work on. So in the morning, I just have to really open my laptop and it's directly there. I just have to get started. It's much more fun. I directly can start working, but it's also much more likely that I actually start working and not wasting my time also somehow on my laptop.
Tip number 4 is having realistic expectations. I think what is really realistic is to work on one habit at a time. Instead of trying to use all your willpower, divide it into 5 different habits at a time, I strongly recommend that you channel that willpower because it's like a muscle. It gets tired. So channel all that willpower into changing one thing at a time. Maybe that thing will take long. This is another part of the realistic expectations idea. If you think that a habit will stick with you maybe in 20-30 days, which is what generally people say or used to say, And if that habit is really contradictory to your current lifestyle, maybe it will take a couple of months, maybe a year to really build that habit into your life. So the idea is how different it is from your general lifestyle, how hard it is for you to adopt it, and how much willpower you're putting into changing or adopting or getting rid of one single habit at a time. Also, make sure that you're following a step-by-step process when you're building a new habit, especially waking up early. If you want to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning, but you currently wake up at 11 a.m. in the morning, instead of trying to wake up immediately at 5 the next day, maybe take every day half an hour back. So you wake up 10:30 one day, maybe a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, go back to 10, go back to 9:30, go back to 9, until you reach your goal of waking up at 5. So always use these incremental steps and make sure that you're putting a realistic expectation in terms of building a new habit.
The next insight is about that you usually want to substitute your bad habits, because the bad habits that you have installed in your life usually serve a purpose. The classical example is always smoking. A lot of people smoke, and there's often a reason behind it, for example, because they're stressed. And by just using your willpower and pushing the cigarettes away and don't do it anymore, it's not going to be sustainable, because after 6, 7, 8 months, usually people just fall back into their old habits, or they install some other negative ones, such as maybe overeating, which is also similar because it's also oral, and they then deal with stress this way, because that's how they coped with stress and they didn't learn any other strategies. So you wouldn't want to become aware about this and then think, what kind of positive habit can I build now which though serves the same purpose? Maybe I go with my friend to yoga classes 3 times a week. That might work. And this actually makes it much more likely, because you actually also considered the root of the problem.
Tip number 6 is having a tracking and a reward system for your new habits. Make sure that you're tracking progress. Maybe having a tracker where you can fill in every day, or check off every day. It will keep you accountable to yourself. It will also create this new habit of actually checking things off. And just the satisfaction of checking things off from a tracker may keep you motivated to go on. Having checkpoints or milestones in this process of building a habit is going to keep you motivated for sure, because you're going to recognize and award yourself for the things that you're doing great. Let's say you started this new habit and you were waking up at 11 a.m. You take it back step by step, and you notice that for 3 weeks in a row, you've been waking up at 8 instead of 11. The end goal is waking up at 5 a.m. But since you're already doing something great 3 hours earlier, make sure that you're rewarding yourself with something that will keep you going. This could be anything from a really good cup of coffee with a good friend to something really big for yourself, something maybe physical, or something maybe, a vacation, or whatever it might be for you. Make sure you track your progress, remember where you started, and award yourself when you hit those milestones.
Accountability is also a very important factor, and I'm not only talking about holding yourself accountable, because it's easy to disappoint yourself and say, well, I'll just do it tomorrow. But it's hard to call your friend and your partner and say, well, I'm not coming today because I just don't feel like. So have some sort of external accountability. Maybe, you're telling your friends, your best friends, what you're doing now. Hey, I'm going 3 times to the gym this week now. I'm building this habit right now. Or, well, I'm just starting this project and I'm now doing this on a frequent basis. There is some external accountability. Next time, if you're too lazy, you're like, well, I told already my best friends and what I'm doing here. Maybe I should really go to the gym because I said this, and yeah, true, actually I also want to do this. Or maybe you get a partner, you do things together. Maybe you have somebody who's coaching you, or you're coaching each other every week, and you talk about your goals for the next week, set goals, and the next week you talk about what went good, what went bad, but then there is some more accountability in your life, and you want to use this leverage because it really works.
Tip number 8 is asking for support. Michael talked about having accountability, telling people that you're going to actually do something. I'm going to add on to it and say that you can actually ask people to support you in your new habit creation process. You can ask people to check on you. You can ask people to make it easier for you if you need support, especially in the beginning. Maybe you're struggling waking up. Maybe you can ask a friend to call you. Maybe you're struggling to go to the gym, maybe you can ask a friend to come with you. So things like this, asking support and also supporting others in their journeys, building good habits, is really, really helpful and crucial.
My last tip that I want to share with you is something you need to be very open about this, otherwise it's not working, and it's called the 5-minute rule. And it's about getting rid of negative habits. Let's say you're sitting on the couch at home and you think, oh, I want to eat some snacks now and I know I have some at home. Now you have this urge to actually do this. And there's some resistance to actually stay here and not eat those snacks. So you want to trick your mind here a little bit and tell yourself, okay, I'm eating the snacks. I'm eating all the snacks. Today doesn't matter. I'm really going to do this. And you actually mean it. I'm serious about this. Actually, you can do this in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, you can eat all of that stuff. The funny thing is that then your mind becomes irritated and be like, hey, I actually expected some more resistance of myself. Well, there is none. Okay. Then also the resistance from the other side and this force also lowers. And then in 5 minutes, you can actually eat the snacks. But before you do that, quickly ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Well, actually, no. I told myself something else and I really don't want to do this. And after those 5 minutes, this emotional force which overwhelmed you and be like, hey, I really want to have this, lowered at this point. And then it's much more easier after 5 minutes to say, okay, I can eat this Snickers now, but I think I'm fine. I'm not going to do this for the sake of my bigger picture goal. This is something that really helped me when it comes down to resisting something that you don't want to do. In 5 minutes, I'm doing it. And then reflect on that in 5 minutes. Do I still want to do this? And if you want to do it, yeah, just do it. But usually you will be strong enough to actually not do it anymore.
And the last tip is planning your habit-related actions into your schedule. Like I said before, willpower is like a muscle. It really gets tired sometimes. So when you're trying to get into the habit of going to the gym, and maybe you want to go to the gym early in the morning, I know that when you wake up before going, you want to keep sleeping and not go. But if you plan that in, if you book that in, you're gonna say to yourself, hey, you planned to go to the gym at 6 a.m. You planned this when your willpower was not depleted, you were not cozy in your bed, you were a smarter you. You decided this when you were logical. So listen to yourself, listen to the person who was smarter than you right now, which is basically the not sleepy you, and you decided to go. So don't fight with yourself and just go. Also make sure that you're setting up alarms on your phones. Maybe you can do what I do. I have go to bed alarms every night so that it pings the time where I want to be in bed reading so that I can sleep on time and wake up on time. It tells me every night at 9:30 to go to bed and read until I fall asleep, and that's why I can keep up with my waking up early habit. Make sure that whatever habit you're trying to build, it might be spending quality time with your family, plan that games night in or dinner night in, plan it in your schedule, make time for these things and make sure that you're sticking to your plans. And with this, I want to leave the last words to Marco.
All right, those were all the tips that we would like to share with you. I hope they really helped you. Check out my YouTube channel if you want some more tips. And if you're struggling with actually applying those tips into your life and actually build some habits or get rid of some negative ones, you can also reach out to me. We can have a one-on-one free conversation at first, maybe even make a strategy plan and then decide whether we would like to work together or not. So really feel free to reach out to me. And otherwise, I really wish you fun and success by building those healthy and sustainable habits.
Thank you so much for watching from my side as well, and I will see you in my next video. Take care. Mwah. Bye.